The Boston Celtics entered free agency hoping to re-sign both Luke Kornet and Al Horford. Unfortunately, on the first day of free agency, Kornet signed a 4-year, $41 million contract with the San Antonio Spurs, and it doesn't seem all that likely the Celtics will be re-signing Horford. Boston entered the offseason well over the second apron of the NBA's new salary cap, but they managed to sneak below it after trading away Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. After signing Luka Garza and Josh Minott in free agency, though, they have crept back over the second apron. It was always going to be difficult to retain both Kornet and Horford, especially if neither of them was willing to take a hometown discount. Kornet received an offer too good to turn down from the Spurs, and it looks like Horford wants to play for a contender before potentially retiring. The Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers have been heavily linked to Horford, and they are seen as serious threats to lure him away from Boston. According to Brian Windhorst of ESPN, it sounds like if Horford is going to continue playing in the NBA, it will be with one of those teams instead of the Celtics. He has lots of different options, including retirement, Windhorst said on ESPN's NBA Today. I would expect there's a decent chance if he continues his career, it's out here on the West Coast with either Golden State or LA. After trading away Kristaps Porzingis and losing Kornet in free agency, Horford's potential departure would be a massive blow for Boston. While they have several big men at their disposal, none of them appear to be starting caliber options currently. Even in his age 38 season, Horford remained a critical part of the Celtics' operation last season. In 60 games, he averaged 9 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game while shooting 42.3% from the field. Horford's two-way abilities and three-point shooting prowess, 36.3% on threes last season, have made him a sought-after option in free agency. And while the C's would undoubtedly love for him to return, it looks more likely than not that he will be departing in the near future. Jalen Bridges to sign camp deal with Celtics. The Celtics have added free agent forward Jalen Bridges to their summer league squad and plan to bring him to training camp to compete for a roster spot, sources inform Jay King of The Athletic. Bridges, who was on a two-way contract with the Suns during his 2024-25 rookie season, will likely end up signing an Exhibit 10 contract with Boston. Exhibit 10 deals can be converted into two-way contracts, which would be a pathway to making the roster. On an Exhibit 10 deal, Bridges would also be eligible to earn a bonus worth up to $85,000 if Boston cuts him before the start of the season, provided he sticks with the club's G League affiliate, the Maine Celtics, for at least 60 days. A 6'8" forward out of Baylor, Bridges appeared in just 8 games and logged 30 total minutes at the NBA level for the Suns last season. However, across 31 regular season contests for Phoenix's Bagel squad, the Valley Suns, the 24-year-old put up solid averages of 14.3 points, 5.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.7 blocks per game, with a shooting line of .425/.386/.794. Phoenix didn't give Bridges a two-way qualifying offer this past weekend, making him an unrestricted free agent. Newly acquired Celtic is now on the trade block after day one of free agency. NBA free agency kicked off with a whimper Monday. For Celtics fans, it was a somber affair. Hopes of Luke Kornet rejoining the team were dashed when Kornet signed a 4-year deal with the Spurs, and signs are pointing towards Al Horford will be joining the Golden State Warriors. The Celtics' frontcourt situation, which was already pretty bleak, turned into a black hole on the roster. The Celtics did add a center in Luka Garza, and with more playing time, he may turn into a gem, but banking on a front line of Xavier Tillman, Luka Garza, Neemias Queta, and Amari Williams is still quite a drop-off from Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. Looking at the rest of the free agent market doesn't necessarily inspire hope. Even if the Celtics found another player to sign, it doesn't make a ton of sense. The Celtics just got under the second apron and are right up against it, so any signings would have to take place after a salary dump. Fans shouldn't expect any Celtics-related shams bombs in the coming days. Boston has stated that they are committed to building around Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White, so it can be inferred that all other options are on the table in terms of trades. The Celtics have a reliable backcourt in White and Peyton Pritchard, and some young pieces in Baylor Shireman, J.D. Davison, and Hugo Gonzalez. That means newly acquired Anthony Simons could be expendable. Anthony Simons' time on the Celtics could be short-lived. The Celtics are prioritizing roster flexibility this offseason. They appear to be prioritizing contracts between $3 to $10 million annually, with the exceptions being Tatum, Brown, and White. The only person on the roster with a value outside of that range is Simons. With the goal of being flexible and out of the second apron, and possibly moving below the first apron, moving Simons is a must. Trading Simons could bring back 2 or 3 players in the $7 to $10 million range with the right trade. In looking at center options in that range, it's a lot of previous lottery picks on rookie contracts, Derek Lively II, Zach Edey, Chet Holmgren, Donovan Clingan, or low-cost rotational pieces like Jock Landale and Goga Bitadze. Fans hoping for a savior at center should temper their expectations. If the Celtics are looking to find more interior help this offseason, moving on from Simons is the best chance at bringing back real assets. Teams like the Rockets and Jazz have frontcourt depth they could part with if they wished. The Celtics would be wise to see if there's interest in Simons, to continue to build out low-cost assets, and to continue working the phones during the season to find their next big man. Damian Lillard reportedly has mutual interest with surprising team. After parting ways with the Milwaukee Bucks, Damian Lillard might be headed even further east. The 9-time All-Star guard Lillard has mutual interest with a surprising team, the Boston Celtics. Adam Himmelsbach of the Boston Globe reported the news on Wednesday and noted that Lillard has respect for the Celtics organization and also a long-time friendship with Boston star Jason Tatum. Set to turn 35 later this month, Lillard is coming off an Achilles tear suffered during the playoffs in late April that could cost him all of the 2025-26 season. Milwaukee decided to stretch and waive Lillard earlier this week in a stunning move that opened up the space for the Bucks to sign a longtime rival in free agency. As for the Celtics, Tatum could miss the entire 2025-26 season as well as he deals with an Achilles tear of his own. Thus, Boston appears to be punting on next season, evidenced by their recent trades of Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, and have managed to get out of the second apron of the luxury tax with an eye on 2026 and beyond. With Lillard still making over $20 million from the Bucks in each of the next 5 seasons, he could end up settling for either a minimum contract or for the mid-level exception with his next team. That would be a perfect outcome for the Celtics, especially with their hole at guard now that Holiday has been traded, and with Holiday's effective replacement Anthony Simons on an expiring contract himself. As it stands right now, Lillard has been linked to the Celtics and a few other teams in free agency, but this is the first that we have heard of where he himself may be interested in heading. While it would be surprising to see Lillard move further away from his family in Portland, Boston appears to be a real option under consideration for him. And you, fan? What do you think of Damian Lillard at Celtics? Leave your opinion in the comments.